Hello, Charles. Welcome to
Hello.
Thursday. How are you, my man?
All right. How's everything going over there?
It's going pretty good. Chicago, nice weather today up in this part of the country. Last warm day of the year. So we're going to make the most out of it and try to hit the golf course a little later on today.
There you
How about for
go.
you?
I'm gonna go out and do some more yard work before it gets cold.
Yeah, well, the cold's coming tomorrow from what I understand, right?
Yep, that's right.
All right. So I don't know if you had a chance last night, but we had a lot of fun talking with the jockey Adam Bowman from Parks. It's going to continue the Parks theme for this week. Adam was telling us about, he went to school in Pennsylvania, and in school he learned to do construction. Then he tried to get a job when he was done from the vocational school, and they told him he was too short. So his mom said, "Hey, jockeys are short. Why don't you think about becoming a jockey?" And that's literally how his career got started. Pretty amazing,
Crazy.
huh? Yeah, it is
Yeah.
crazy.
Well,
I guess making what do they say? Making lemonade out of lemons, right?
that's right.
So he took a
Got to.
situation where people didn't want to hire him because he was too short. So turned the weakness into strength.
That's
I
right.
love that. Yes, indeed. Speaking of weakness, we have to improve off of our effort yesterday, Charles. You had one nice trifecta. Otherwise, beyond that, we had a pretty rough day at Churchill Downs. So let's see if we can have a much better day at Aqueduct in New York. Thankfully, they're finally calling it by its right name, not Aqueduct at Belmont or Belmont at the Big A. It's just
Well,
old-fashioned Aqueduct.
that's all it is.
It's all it should ever be, right? Belmont at the Big A.
Crazy.
What? Just messing up
Jeez.
all my data files. I got to go back and tell the computer, no, this is really Aqueduct.
Yeah. Crazy.
All right. Race number 1 at Aqueduct is a 6
Uh-huh.
furlong. It's a maiden $85,000 race for a purse of 85 grand. Like we like to do around here, Charles, talk a little bit about the kind of horse that you probably want in terms of what wins at 6 furlongs on the Aqueduct track. Looks like tactical speed and the post positions are fair. Because there are so many first-time starters in here, we do not have our way to the winner's winner's circle worksheet. So we'll just go straight to picks, Charles. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's an interesting maiden race, but my first choice here is going to be the 5. Uh, this horse has got some solid works. The dam has one winner out of one starter. Steve gets about 19% on maidens. So the horse looks pretty well here. The favorite here, the 6, solid works, hot jockey trainer combo, which is Irad and Brown. Bred very well. So it looks like it could fire right away. And then the 2 horses, my third choice. Solid works again on a horse. This horse's dam has 3 winners out of 4 starters, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then my final choice in this race is the 1. This one has shown speed, ran third last time out, and cuts back in distance, so could be a little dangerous here.
So I'm going to start off with a horse you don't have. And I don't know if this is good for me or good for you, but it'll be good for one of us, maybe.
Okay.
I'm looking at Biloxi Blues. I know there was a scratch in this race. It was the 2 horse, so I didn't screw that one up. I'm looking at that October 22nd workout of 4 furlongs. It was the second fastest of 167. Now, I know, Charles, you say you want to see what the workout looks like, but I still think second of 167, no matter what it looks like, is pretty good. And this horse has the best pedigree numbers for the distance and surface. So that workout says the pedigree might translate to the track. Number 6, undervalued asset. Mr. Trainer Trad Brown has won 40% of the races to start off this Aqueduct meet. And this racehorse has some decent workouts. Your first choice, my third choice, number 5, Pardon Moi. This is a $230,000 horse for trainer Steve Asmussen, and this horse's works stayed on schedule. So that tells me there weren't any hiccups along the way. And then finally, number 1, Risk Free. This one was much better in its last race from beginning to end. And quite frankly, with the scratch, kind of moved up into that spot. Number 2 race at Aqueduct today is another 6 furlong race. This one's an allowance, $10,000. The purse is 35 grand, as we mentioned, for the first race. Profile of a winner, tactical speed. The post positions are fair. This time around, Charles, we do have our way to the winner's worksheet. Oh no, the 2 horses scratched in this race, not race number 1. I'm sorry, right? It's this race, the 2 horses scratched.
It was 3 in the race number 1.
3 in race number 1. All right, so 2
Yeah.
is out in race number 2. I just got confused because of the lack of a pace worksheet for race number 1, and I just generally am confused anyway. Just quick recap: E horses want to be the pilot. EPs can be pilot or co-pilot. Ps tend to be co-pilots. The PCs can be co-pilots and passengers, and the closers are usually passengers. They're in the back of the plane and they try to make their way to the front. And then as far as the pace sets up for this race, looks like the 7 probably has the most early speed, has the best combination of early speed and late speed, whereas the 5 horse has the most late speed, but has the best combination of late speed and early speed. The 1 horse gets the dreaded NC. It's never been close. And that's going to end up being Charles' best bet, the 1 horse, isn't it?
Nah, that'd probably be more my long shot. No, yeah, no way. The 7 horse, this is my best bet of the day. This horse drops. The horse ran 4th and last time out, and you're thinking, well, it was 4th, big deal. Well, it only lost by 3/4 of a length. And this horse definitely has some speed. He hangs on really good. This 8-year-old horse is 30 for 37 lifetime. So how can you knock this horse? He's always there. He's always doing good in his races.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And then my second choice here is the 5. He also drops. He has tactical speed. He's probably more on the closing side of it. And the trainer gets about 15%. So this horse, I think, could finish up for the exacta. And my next choice will be the 6. Won last time out. Got claimed last time out. Does have some tactical speed. So look out for this one to finish up the exotics. And then my final choice here is the 3. Drops. Rudy Rodriguez, 20% first after the claim. And this horse has been really hot at the claim box also.
All right, so race number 2 at Aqueduct. For me, I am going to start with the 3 horse. Where you stop, I start, Charles. Winning Drive. I'm going to take a swing at beating that favorite, your best bet. First off, the claim for trainer Rudy Rodriguez. And this horse, that is a 20% angle for Rudy Root. Also, the 3 horse does have some decent late kick in here as well. Number 7, Greeley and Ben's going to be a low-priced horse, maybe 2 to 5, 1 to 5, somewhere in there. It's 3 to 5 morning line. Did run the top last race speed figure, dropping in class after being a little bit faster last out. There's really no reason to think that horse is not going to win. And number 6 is Silly K, maybe. Won its last race by 11 lengths. And when you look at the internal numbers, they were better in the beginning, the middle, and the end of the race. And this is another horse making the first start off the claim for trainer Linda Rice, which is a pretty good angle for her. And then finally, number 5, Easy Day, my final choice, has the top late pace in the field, the second best early pace, late pace. But I'm not the biggest fan of that Parks to Naira track move. Too many times I've seen horses show some form at Parks, make their way up I-95, only to struggle in the New York circuit. So I'm not going to make that mistake again. Race 3 at Aqueduct is 1 mile. This one's a claiming $32,000 race. The purse is a smooth $55,000. 1 mile on the main track, the kind of horse you want to look for. Does have some early speed with an outside to inside bias, so the better posts tend to do. And I'm laughing because my first pick is the 1 coming up, but the posts on the outside tend to do better than the posts on the inside. And when we look at this pace setup, we do see in here there's some early pace in here. You got the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 6 all showing some early legs. The 5 and the 6 might have the best early pace in the group. The 1, 2, and 3, they're all matched. This is going to be, I think, a pretty early, short field. I think these horses up front, probably in a short field, have the advantage with speed. Charles, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. And with all those stats that you were saying about the outside's better, well, let's put it this way. I'm going to go with the 1.
Yeah, me too.
This horse
Well, maybe
ran.
with only a 5-horse field, there's no such thing as an outside
Yeah,
post.
I guess not. The horse ran third last time out. The trainer gets 26% when he's going from sprint to route. This is third after a layoff, so I like that angle.
Mm-hmm.
My second choice is the 5. This one's another one with tactical speed. Second after a layoff. Fits very well with these type of horses. And then the 4 horse is probably your closer of them. One last time. Moves back up in class because of the win probably last time. That's why they're moving him back up. And then my final choice is the 6, another speed horse. Ran second last time out, and this horse is 17 for 22 lifetime. So another hard knocking horse.
Yeah, well, the one thing is this horse is not a hard knocking horse because it's only had a pretty limited history. But in that limited history, does suggest that it should be better in the third start after a layoff. Number 6, Blue Paint, does have the best combination of early and late speed in this field and should be involved from go to photo. Number 3, She's a Black Belt, is the lone P horse in a race that has the potential to have some early pace to it. So it could sit right behind the 3 horses that want to be on the lead and then run by them at the end. Finally, Girl of Toscanova has some early pace as well. Does have a pretty good combination of early speed and late speed, where should be involved as well from beginning to end. I guess got a feeling they're just going to run around in a blob around the track, and whichever one has the most late legs is going to win.
Yeah, I think so.
Race 4 at Aqueduct is 6 furlongs, maiden claiming. Purse for $32,000. Maiden's 3 years old and up. Again, 6 furlongs. Briefly, the horse has got to have some tactical speed. Post positions are pretty fair. If we take a look at our way to the winner's circle worksheet here, we got some interesting stuff here. We see the arrows. A lot of these horses are moving down in class today. Boom, that's what the down arrow means. Again, in maiden races, those class drops can be some of the biggest drops in all of horse racing. In fact, our friend Tom says it is the number 1 drop in all of horse racing. Tom Carley, call it the Tom Carley drop. The 5 horses, the first left arrow horse of the day. By the way, the only left arrow horse we had yesterday on the card won. This one's dropping in class as that's why the down arrow, left arrow. We got another left arrow over here, so they both can't win. The 7 also dropping in class. The left arrow means that these horses early pace figures put it in contention for the lead without trying any harder than they normally do. This 6 horse has a pretty amazing late pace advantage, 4 check marks. Means 20 points better than the next closest horse. It means it can make up as much as maybe 4 lengths at the end. And if you combine early pace and late pace, has a double plus advantage. So that horse to me looks like it should be part of everybody's picks if it just doesn't get too far behind in the beginning. What do you think, Charles?
And I don't think he will get that far behind. I think he'll probably sit third or fourth, but not too far behind overall. So I think the 6 is my winner. Like you said, tactical speed. Trainer gets 17% with 90+ days off. Solid works. This horse also picks up Gomez, which you also had on the show here 2 nights ago.
Yes, indeed. And we tend to bring good luck to the folks that come on the show. So
yeah. So my second choice in this race will be the 5, another horse that your arrow left, right? You said. Well, this horse drops. The trainer gets 33% when he double drops it, and they add the blinkers today and LASIK. So you got to look out for that horse today. And then the 9 is my third choice. Drops, cuts back in distance today. Trainer gets 33%, second time after the claim. And this horse is below the claim price also. So look out there. And this for my 4th choice, I had a little bit of a tough time, but I ended up with the 3 with one of the speed horses hanging on for some of the pie. Cuts back in distance and drops in class, like you said.
Race number 4, I'm going to go with number 9, Psychic Income. So do you wonder why psychics are poor? Shouldn't they know
Hmm.
like in advance, like how to get that $1.9 billion
Yeah.
lottery that we just had? I mean, I think I would use my psychic skills. I would summons as much of them as I had to get those 6 numbers or 5 numbers. But anyway, I'm really not sure about that last race. That last one. The start was fine at the beginning of the race, but the end was just like, ooh, I don't know about that. But trainer Raymond Handel does win 9 out of 27 races the second time around after a claim. And the interesting thing is, we're almost through 2022. So he's 201 races. So that Handel barn doesn't really claim a lot of horses if there's only 27 of them that may get a second start off the claim for him. So he doesn't claim very many. So I'd expect when he does, he thinks he has something. It's got to probably stand out to him. We'll see if this horse can run back to its back class. Number 7, Super Quality, is a left arrow horse as well that drops down multiple classes, which is a winner 7 out of 20 times for trainer Rob Otress. You're going to regret not having that one, Charles. Number 6 is my third choice. Sean the Hammer has a tremendous, as we showed in the Way to the Winner Circle worksheet, late pace advantage over everybody else in this field. And to boot, it's the lone P horse. So it gets to sit between the speed and the closers and then just run by him at the end. Number 5 is my final choice, Charles. That is Grand Again, is the second left arrow horse in the race. Does have some early pace, so it can get out of the box with a little bit of giddy up and go, and it gets a dose of Lasix today. So giddy up and go and Lasix is a good combination. At least I've seen that work out in my view. Race 5, Charles, is the last of the early pick 4s. We will have our primary pick 4 in just a second. It's also your box it up. This one is a claiming $16,000 race, purse of 28 grand, profile of a 1 1/8 mile winner on the main track at Aqueduct. We see that you want tactical speed. Post 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are fair. You're not deal killers, but you get a big bonus if you wear an 8 or up. I don't think that really comes into play today, if I remember correctly. But what does come into play is our Way to the Winners worksheet. 7 was a main track only. We're in race 5, right? No,
5.
Getting ahead of myself. So we see it is a well-balanced race with a couple horses that are on the lead, a couple that want to be in the middle, a trio that want to be in the back. In the early going, the 2 horse has a plus advantage at 2 and 4 furlongs. So should very much be the one that sets the tone from beginning to end. And at the end, the 5 horse does have a competitive advantage. Down the stretch they come with 10 points more than the next closest late pace horse. Who do you got, Charles?
Okay, well, this was a very interesting race. I thought race 4 and race 5 were pretty much wide open overall. So here I'm just gonna say they're gonna go in order. I like the 1 horse first. He has tactical speed. He gets Franco, and trainer gets 13% when there's 46 plus days off. The horse looks about ready to rock and roll. And then the 2 horse has speed, claimed last time by Rice, fits well here. So that's another great angle to look at. And then the 3 horse is my third choice. Another one that has good tactical speed, should be coming a little bit later probably, but should like this distance. Trainer gets 15% when there's 46 plus days off. And this horse is a first time gelding. So look out there. And because no one told him to look out, right? And then the 4 horse here is my final pick. Drops in class here today. Back at routes, which he does a little bit better. Trainer gets 21% when they run him in routes.
So that's our box it up. $1 exact the box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. Mine, as you can see, is coming up in race number 8. For me, in race number 5, before they get off to the first start, let's go quick. I got the 3 horse Amadeus Music. Been on the bench since December. Some really good workouts getting ready. The last time the horse had a little bit of time in the barn, it won that fresh start. Number 6, Jay Stalker, has the top early and late pace combination in the field. Just needs to run back to its wire-to-wire debut. Could take this field from beginning to end. Number 5, Lucky Mucho Man does have the top late pace advantage in this field by a decent margin. 3 consecutive speed finger increases in a row. Can make it 4 in its third start off of the bench, but I'm a little bit concerned coming off that maiden win. Usually not the biggest fan of horses that take a while to win their maiden and come out the next time around, but doesn't mean he can't hit the board. Number 2, Bourbon's Hope has a plus early pace advantage at 2 and 4 furlongs. This one is the first time off the claim for trainer Linda Rice. It is a 20% angle for Linda, and she normally wins at 17%. So that's what we call around here an alpha angle. Also concluding your box it up, Charles, it is also the end of our prime rib pick 4, starting in race number 2. Charles taking the same approach that he took yesterday. He's going to single a horse in the first leg. You ever seen the movie Animal House?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know remember when they're pledging and Kevin Bacon's getting spanked? Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Yeah, that's right.
That's Charles'
That's
approach
right.
today. Going to single
That's
that
right.
7 or live and die. It's probably going to win pretty easily at 1-5. So turning his pick 4 into just the 1, 4, or 5, and then hoping he catches them all in the back end. Some prices. I'm probably not all that much different. Mine's $100 there. I'm hoping to beat the 7, because if you do, it's really going to open up and fatten up that pick 4. All right, it looks like they're about to get cracking in race number 1. So let's kind of take a look and see how this race plays out, Charles.
Yeah, it looks like the final horse is being loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, we got one
I think
more
there's one more. I think it's a 6-horse field. So the 6 horse is going in right now for race number 1. That is Undervalued Asset, which is the 3-5 post time favorite. And the gates open. And as they get going, the 5 horse, Pardon Moi, gets to the lead, followed closely to the outside by number 6, Undervalued Asset. The 4 horse, probably about a length off the lead, trailing the leaders. That is Biloxi Blues, just kind of trying to move a little bit to the outside of the 6 to give himself a lane. And in the back of the pack, we have the 2 horse, which is Adult Audit Committee, and number 1, Risk Free, tailing the field. As they come into the turn, the 5 horse maintains its about 3/4 of a length lead over the 6 horse, the favorite. It's kind of pulling up alongside. They're standing straight up on the 6, so it looks like he's probably going to run right by the 5. The 1 horse now is making a bold move from the back of the track. The 4 horse is also pulling up alongside, so it looks like it's going to be kind of tight down the stretch here. 4 horses wide, I guess in the NASCAR vernacular. The 4 horse, he's kind of interested in saying hello to the 1 because he keeps tilting his head to the right. The jockey can't get him to straighten out. But as they come down the stretch, it's clearly the 6 horse, your winner, which is Undervalued Asset. It's going to be close for second, although the 1 horse, Risk Free, is going to take the lead here, followed by the 4 horse, which is Biloxi Blues. So the first race goes 6, 1, and 4, Charles.
Yep.
I think I'm ready to take over for Tom Durkin.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right there. Look out, Pegasus. You might as well call him the Pegasus race.
Yes, forget Pete Aiello. Good friend of the show, though. If you haven't done so yet while you're here, please hit that like button on Twitter. Not Twitter, on Facebook and on YouTube. Thumbs up. We appreciate it. Subscribe. Follow us so you don't miss any of the good action. Tomorrow, Tom and I, for Foreign Fridays, we'll be covering Shaitan out in Hong Kong. We're going to start a Saturday show this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to cover Churchill Downs and all of this Claiming Crown weekend. Right, Charles?
That's right.
All right. So
it'll be a little cool out here, so be prepared.
I think they have about 6 stakes races that day. So it should be an excellent card for our first.
And Friday night,
show.
They're expecting rain Friday night, so it might be a little sticky.
Track could be, as Mike Smith told us, peanut buttery. All right, race number 6 is 1 mile and an eighth on the outer turf at Aqueduct. Optional claiming $80,000. The purse is a nice $100,000. So you got stakes money kind of in play here for this optional $80,000 race. At the distance, 1 1/8 miles on the outer turf course. There's only been 2 races so far. They both were won by speed. And both were won by horses that were on the inside, posts 1, 2, or 3. Race number 6, the 7 horse, has been scratched. So we don't have to worry about that guy. That's why he's already crossed out over here. You got a lot of horses that probably want to contend for the lead. The 2 horse probably wants to try for the lead. The 1A is probably going to try for the lead. The 3 horse is a left arrow horse again, does have the plus early pace. So that's pressure closer type, has enough early wheels to get involved in this race right off the get go. But the 1 horse to me, the 1A, this guy has a double plus advantage at 4 furlongs and 6 furlongs. So after 3/4 of a mile, so a little more than halfway of the race, should be on the lead comfortably, running at a pace that's not foreign to him. If the pace is slow, the 1A could take him to wire, Charles. What do you say?
Yeah, I think you might be right about that. Could do that. Right now, I'm going to choose the 5 as my top choice. Uh, if this horse drops, he gets IRAD. From IRAD jumps on from Brown's Barn. This horse should be closing, should be sitting right there and then close pretty good. This horse is 9 for 14, so this horse is ready to rock and roll, I believe. Then the 1A is my second choice. This horse drops. He's got that tactical speed. My Maker will definitely have him ready to rock and roll here. So, and his the one
Stablemate?
is a yeah, it's basically a one.
Mm-hmm.
Is going to be closing. So I think the ones are very good here, very strong.
The
And
entry.
then the 6 horse is my third choice. Horse ran second last time out, has that tactical speed, and this horse has been very consistent. 18 for 24, and Rice gets 17% on a normal basis.
Mm-hmm.
And then my final choice is the 3. Uh, got some of that tactical speed also to stay close. Trainer gets 17%. This horse fits well with these horses.
I'm going to go. I don't want to because I hate the odds, to be honest with you. I really do hate them. These morning line odds. I was trying to find a way to get around this horse, the 1A. But when you have that major pace advantage through the first 6 furlongs and you're not really going to be stressed running it, the horse is going to be able to set the tone from the beginning to the end. As long as somebody doesn't go out and crazily push it, I think the horse goes wire to wire. Number 5 in here is my second choice, Lonesome Fugitive. This is a Chad Brown horse, and he's got 2 of them in this race. Of course, he's going to throw IRAD up on the one that's better. So at least that's my opinion. And that's Lonesome Fugitive. The other horse for Mr. Brown is the 4 horse, Value Engineering. In this case, Javier Castellano, who's also been on our show, gets the mount here. And he doesn't get that many mounts for Chad Brown, just 6 so far, and he's won 3 of them. At the distance, this horse has run 4 times with a win and a couple of thirds. Let's see. Number 3 is my final horse, which is Dreams of Tomorrow, is a left arrow horse that does have an advantage in this race when you combine the early pace and the late pace. So we'll see if it can take advantage of that. I just think that one entry, like you said, you got one that wants to be up front, one that wants to come in the back. So if they burn, then the 1A comes in, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a good combination, basically.
Race 7, 1 mile, optional claim. Oh, this one's not optional. It's just straight up claiming $16,000. Non-winners of 2 lifetime for a purse of $28,000. As we look at the conditions, what wins at 1 mile? There's early speed bias that does favor outside horses. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet for race number 7. This is a good setup for if you like speed, Charles, in here, because the 7 horse looks like the own speed on paper, but when you go through the early pace numbers and you do the math, the 3 and the 9 are probably going to be the ones that set the pace out of the gate. Although the 1 horse, which typically gets a closer's designation, again, left arrow horse with some early pace. The 3 horse of these speed horses has the most late kick as well. So sometimes you can't pass what you can't catch, Charles. Are they going to catch the 3?
I think they can. I think there's enough, actually, like you said, speed in here that will set up for my long shot of the day, the 5. He's a closer. This is third after a layoff. I love the angle. Trainer gets 18%, but gets 23% when it's third after the layoff. So I think it sets up for that horse a little bit better. The 9 horse is my second choice here. Another horse that is dropping third after the layoff and goes back to routes. So look out for that horse. And then I think some of the speed will hang around for some of the exotics. I got the 7 uh, drops here. The trainer gets 17% when there's 46 plus days off. And then final, the 1 horse, I think he's got that tactical speed. Like you said, he could do whatever. He drops, cuts back in distance, and he's going from turf to dirt today. So it's a pretty wide open race overall, but that's my long shot of the day.
So we're having a battle and it's going to be an epic battle of long shots. You're going to want to tune in for this one. I'm going to go with the 3-horse in race number 7. That is my long shot. Merger of equals, which is not the nature of this show because clearly we're not equal. Charles gets the nod, at least so far. He's been kicking my butt in our contest. So you're going to want to head out. Not really. Yeah, one pick five's kind of got me trying to swim upstream the entire time. But if you haven't done so yet, go to our social sites down there below. Horse Race, the number 2 day, Horse Race today. Get on Team Charles and Terry or Team Rich at the end of the month, who's ever collected the most wins in terms of $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, and our pick fours. We'll pull a name out of the winning team's hat, and they'll get some Horse Racing Today gear on the house for making the right pick. But Merger of Equals does have that most late pace, early pace combination in this field. It's been claimed. 2 nice workouts since that claim. So the horse should come to the track sharp. Number 4, April Antics does have the top last race speed figure. Dropping in class, those 2 things usually work out fairly well. And does have an okay workout in between races on November the 4th. Number 5, your long shot does make it in my picks. Sweeter, 3rd race off of the sidelines. It could be better. The resume's mixed on that one. Sometimes better, sometimes not. But what I do like is last time out, the horse ran 6.5 furlongs. Did so with faster fractions than the previous race at 6 furlongs. So you got faster fractions and you go longer. It makes it even a lot faster. And then finally, number 1, Raining Candy. Well, that was just a couple of days ago, but then it's all gone in most houses. This is a left arrow horse. That last race was absolutely brutal, so you got to kind of crumble that one up, Kobe it, forget about it. Come back and see if this horse can do better after dropping multiple classes in this one. Race 8, second to last race on the Aqueduct card. We're looking at a race that's 6 furlongs on the outer turf course. First time we've seen this distance today in service, at least combined. 6.5 furlongs on the outer turf does favor tactical speed, and the rail does get a little bit of an edge, Charles. This is going to be my box it up in a moment, as we preluded to a little bit earlier. We got all the MTOs obviously scratched since they're running on the turf course. Also, the 5 horses out of this race. Interesting, though, when I looked at this race, most of these horses, with the exception of the 7, have some very similar early pace numbers. And this is only 1 or 2 points better than everybody else. They also have, except for the 1 horse, which has the most late pace, they all have pretty similar late pace races. And then if you look at just combining them, the 3, the 9, the 8, the 6, the 13, the 1A, the 5, the 10, in other words, a lot of horses in this race look very similar on paper. Very similar on paper. This is, I think, the toughest race on the card. I made it my box it up. Charles, tell us about your picks.
Yeah, very tough race. In this race, I'm going to go with probably the true speed horse here, which would be the 3. Ran 3rd last time out. Trainer gets 25% second time after the claim. So this horse, I think, could try to take it wire to wire, but there is tons of speed in here. The 1 is very interesting in this race because of this closing speed. So this horse should be closing. This horse drops in class. Trainer gets 19% on 90 plus days. So this is a fresh horse ready to rock and roll. And then the 6 horse is my 3rd choice. Another one that has all that speed, cuts back in distance today, fits well with all these type of horses. So look for that horse to be there. And then my final choice here is the 10. Has some tactical speed. The trainer gets 22% with 46 plus days off. And you got a hot jockey in the last 7 days riding.
All right. As I mentioned, this is my box it up in race number 8. Anything can happen in this spot. Every horse, their numbers are almost identical from beginning to end. So you are splitting hairs. And I think because you're going to be splitting hairs, that most handicappers are going to see it the same way. So money's going to be spread all over the place. And as a result, odds should be nice on every horse. Number 3, Towering Orbit. As you mentioned, Charles, this guy should be close to the front all the way around the track. But what I like about this horse, if you dig down into the workouts right below the past performances, those recent workouts are absolutely brilliant. Number 6, Palace Gossip, is the lone EP horse in the field, which should work to its benefit, has some versatility, should be good or better than it was in its last race, considering this is a second off of the bench and one that's favored this distance. I think if I remember correctly, the horse has run 10 times, has 2 wins in 2 seconds. But those 2 wins in 2 seconds came in just 5 races at the distance. So clearly it's favorite. The 1 and the 1A, for me, the entry, you have that fits nice in here. The 1 horse should be coming at the end, but the workouts are blah. I mean, the 1A should be coming at the end, but some blah workouts. The 1 does have one of the best early pace combinations with late pace in the field. And there's another one that tends to run very well after some time in the barn. And you can't argue with Christophe Clement and Joel El Rosario teaming up on the turf. That's like royalty. And then number 9, Road to Remember, is of the 2 PC horses the one with the most late pace, does have the top last race speed figure in the lone race last time out with our guest last 2 days ago, Jose Gomez. So if you haven't seen that yet, going to go check that show out on Horse Racing Radar TV every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. Either myself and Sean or Jamie and Sean, but she's on vacation. We get together with some of the personalities in the sport, talk about how they got started, where they're going, what's happening now, and sometimes we have some good laughs and stuff too. Finally, number 9, race number 9 is our final race on the card. This is 1 mile on the turf. It is a maiden special weight for $85,000. Of course, the purse matches that. 1 mile on the turf winners. This first time today, we're seeing horses that typically do better coming from off the pace. The rail does get an edge, and anything that wears an 8 or out can experience a significant penalty. Charles, don't want that. In race number 8, we see a horse race that is very much tilted towards
number 9.
Race number 9. Yeah, I'm confused because I'm a day off here with this. You see race number 9. A lot of back end horses. They want to be off the pace. The 2 main track only entrants are out. Of the 2 horses that want to be close to the lead, the 9 horse has the most early pace. Up arrows indicating horses that are going up in class. Flat arrows are horses that are running at the same level. Charles, for the nightcap, how do you see it going?
This is a 2-horse race, in my opinion. I think this is the exacta all the way. So I leaned a little bit towards the 7 as my first choice. This horse is 3 for 3 in the money. Irad and Brown combination again. Bet well all 3 races, and they add the blinkers today, so they're going to have him concentrate and be more focused on what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
The horse I had a tough time picking as the second one, which would be the 5. Here's the rest of your exacta. The 5 horse has speed, ran second last 3 times, and has some solid workouts to back everything up.
So you said it was a 2-horse race at the beginning, and then you just said that you had a hard time. Was it a hard time picking between the 5 and the 7?
Yeah, between the 5 and the 7.
All right.
Who was going to be first? Who was going to be second? So, yeah, I had a hard time with that. But my third choice to pick up exotics would be the 6 horse. He has some tactical speed. He cuts back a distance today. So I look for him to be there for the exotics. And then my final horse here for the exotics is the 8 horse. Ran 3rd last time out, cuts back in distance today, and he does fit with these type of horses here.
All right, I think we're being asked by Omar who won the first race. If I have, and I don't, unfortunately, I can't speak Spanish, but in el race número 1, that's probably about the best I can do. Forgive me. What is it? 6 y 1 y 4. 6-1-4 in race number 1 at Aqueduct. I hope I got that right and I didn't totally embarrass myself. All right, for me, race number 9 is my best bet, and I do a good job of embarrassing myself pretty regularly, Charles. I think you'll agree.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Race number 9, I'm going to put 7 up here as my best bet of the day. I do agree with you. It is a 2-horse race between it and the 5. But the reality is the 7 horses had 3 chances and probably should have broken its maiden 3 times already. Today's the day it gets it done. If not, the 5 horse did run the top last race speed figure. It was at 1 mile last time. It was at Aqueduct, and it was on the turf and has a bunch of really good workouts since. Number 8 is my third choice, which is Aruba. Better in the 3rd race off of the bench and a very, very consistent performer. And then finally, number 9, Cleats, ends the show. It is an EP horse, so it can be pilot or co-pilot, as we saw in the pace worksheet. And I feel like looking at this horse, because it makes a major mid-move and comes at the end, it's going to be a really good fit for jockey trainer Trevor McCarthy, who's a great friend of the show. And then if we look at race number 9, it ends our pick 4 tickets. And I think we went with the hot dog in race number 9. I'm going to just single the entry in race number 6. And then I'm going to go 4x5 and then 2 at the end, because I agree with you, Charles. Charles taking a little bit of a different approach, 3x3 by 2x2. So he's going to take I'm trying to hit some shots. I do think that entry, that 1A, is just going to be tough to beat in that leg up in there. And if not, then the 1 horse will close and beat him. And so I got the front and I got the back of the race. Just hope the ones in the middle don't win. All right, Charles, real quickly, again, our picks for the entire Aqueduct card. The first race is in already. That first race, as I mentioned, went 6, 1, and 4. Not much to think about there. That exacted for $1, only $7.20. The trifecta only paid $9.90 for 50 cents. So not the biggest winner, but nonetheless, not a losing ticket. We're glad to start like that. If you take a look at Charles' best bet coming up here in race number 2, that is the 7 horse. 7 horse right now, 1-9, Charles. Way to go out on a limb, my brother.
Hey, well, what am I supposed to say? I mean, there's a winner, I guess. I mean,
yes, indeed. So
I try not to go by odds.
Our first prime rib pick 4 is I'm going to try to beat that 7. I'm not going to beat the 1-9, but I hope I do. Not because I want to beat you, Charles, but I do want to beat you. But because for the pick 4 with a 1-9, you're going to need a price in there somewhere for it to pay nicely.
Well, that's why the alls. That's why I got the alls there at the back.
And I basically have similar stuff in the back. I'm almost all in those races. So let's hope that we do catch a big price in the back end and we both share that horse. Hot dog pick 4 to close the show. I'm singling the 1 entry, and then Charles is going to go a little bit more traditional. And then, of course, our box it ups are in race number 5 for Charles, race number 8 for me. $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. Our long shot battle of the day, Charles, is in race number 7. I got the 3. You got the 5. It will be epic. And then my best bet in race number 7, race number 9, also the 7 horse, but it won't be 1-9. It'll probably be 2-5.
Yeah, probably.
All right. So that wraps up the show for this Thursday. Again, tomorrow I'll be back with Tom to cover Shay Tin at Hong Kong. Saturday, we'll kick off our Saturday shows, Terry and I, for the races over at Churchill Downs. One quick thing before I got to get up and out of here. If you haven't done so already, Rodolfo, these articles that Ronaldo De Gallo puts up, if you're interested in knowing about everything you'll ever know about the flight line and where it compares to other horses that are in the Racing Hall of Fame, you're going to want to go over to horseracingtoday.net. Check out this article. My man does some research, man. His articles are phenomenally well researched, and you're going to know more about what it takes to get into the Hall of Fame and who's in the Hall of Fame and who's not than anybody else you know in horse racing. Again, if you're doing college basketball, please head over to the Picks from the Professor. There is a link in the description down below. College basketball every single day now. He'll always have a pick. Watch the show. Be a good friend. Let them know you came from horseracingtoday.net. And finally, today, if you're going to bet over at Horseshoe, Indianapolis, where we did good on Tuesday. We didn't do so well yesterday at Churchill. Looking to rebound today at Aqueduct. Please head on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet. You'll see that today's free track of the day is indeed Horseshoe, Indianapolis. Julius Chardonnay, best bet in race number 1. Again, link found in the description below. Any final thoughts, Charles, before we get up and get out of here?
No, everyone just be prepared. It's going to get cold out there this weekend, and I think winter is upon us.
So Barry says, what are your picks for college hoops, my man?
Right now, I don't have any, but I probably will have some for Saturday. So,
yeah, and then make sure you check out the Thursday tomorrow
email
night.
me.
We do our NFL show tomorrow night. So I think all of us are profitable now. Sean had a good week. So they say the NFL is the toughest. And myself, Jared, and Sean are all profitable for the year. And as of last week, if you had played every one of our bets with the units, of course, past performance is no guarantee of anything else. But you would have been up over $1,000 so far on the year just with the units. In the NFL, that's not bad. You had won a lot of games, a lot of close ones. But what the heck, man? All right,
well,
Charles.
That's the way it is with NFL.
That indeed does wrap it up. Any final thoughts before we get out of here today?
Nope, that's it. So,
yes, I'm going to get up out of here today, and I'm going to go play golf on the last beautiful day in Chicago. Tee time in about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And I guess if you want, you can find love on a new dating app, according to the people spamming us now in the comments section. So if you're looking for love, go check that out as well. All right, everybody, no matter what you're doing this Thursday, till we get back together again tomorrow for Shea Tin at Hong Kong, again on Saturday for Churchill Downs. Charles, where do you want all my picks to end up?
No, I want mine to be in the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Thursday. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and also give us a thumbs up on Facebook and YouTube.